So, on Saturday you played at Primavera Sound Festival in Barcelona, and it was the first Voidz concert after a 4-year gap. But in the last few years you've been playing a lot with Strokes, and the last show was less than 2 weeks ago with Red Hot Chili Peppers. So, how does it feel to spend so much time on tour?
I don't. It's an illusion. I don't spend that much time.
Okay.
The touring with the Strokes is pretty easy. The opening for the Red Hot Chili Peppers was relatively easy, long gaps, and just, you just show up and play for like 45 minutes. And I think this, most of it is pretty it's fine. I think this was more intense, because like you said, it was the first in 4 years and getting ready, and wanted it to be good, and, excited to be, playing stuff that feels like fresher and newer. So I think it's, and it's always been kind of my, my main thing at the moment. So I've been working on it for a long time. So I've been in it in other ways, but our first time playing with it. But so far so good. Just one show, but it's been great.
Okay. And, well, you're used to big arenas and festivals, but tomorrow you'll play in more of a cozy place, so it must be very different also on an emotional level. And I was wondering if you like more intimate settings like this.
Definitely. I don't like playing. I think there's a sweet spot, that's like maybe like 3,000. Like 1,000 to 3,000, that feels like big and fun. But I always feel like, for me, the ideal venue has to be like the worst seat in the house is still a very good seat. And I just think, like when you go see, kind of like a movie theater almost. I mean, to me, when I see a show and I'm watching it on the screen, it's like it's the same feeling as if you're just watching it like at home,
Okay. Yeah.
So when the person is like, like a tiny ant in the distance, I mean, honestly, that's just like the only way to make money as a musician now, sadly.
Yeah.
But I much prefer smaller, my dream would be, just playing like a residency, like a cool place, and just playing like many shows. I always want to do that. We go on tour with the Strokes or Voidz, anyone, and I'm like, can we just play like a cool small place like 7 times instead? But it's like, well, if you do that, you will lose money, or you can do this one show and you can make money. At like the AT&T Super Arena. So, I mean, it's kind of just, unfortunate reality of music performance, I suppose. But it is a small price to pay because I still get to do what I love with the Voidz. So.
Okay. Well, unluckily for us Italians, you haven't been playing a lot in Italy, but this is the second time for the Voidz in Bologna. So do you have any memories about the town?
It was one of the funnest shows. It was pretty wild. I remember this was pre-pandemic, so who knows what what sad reality awaits. I'm kidding. I mean, it was a beautiful town. It was fun. It was probably the most fun I've ever had in Italy, and I didn't know what to expect. I've always wanted to go to Florence.
Okay.
Never been. I've always wanted to see the But Bologna's probably been probably my favorite place in Italy so far.
Okay. Let's change the topic. So music has changed a lot in the last few years, and now TikTok is the king. Is it good or is it bad?
I personally don't like TikTok.
Okay.
I just think it was tainted by the, the hand dancing and the, I just think of like kids doing the hand dance stuff and just, it's like pretty unoriginal content. I understand people like to just kind of put themselves out there in a cool way. So like, I don't judge, but I just always feel like it's like people use other people's words and voice. You know what I mean? You'll have people just never actually post their own mind. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
If I had to pick that format, I don't know, maybe I'm just like an old man, but I prefer like YouTube shorts.
Okay.
I love YouTube, honestly. I just feel like the music, it has a lot more. You can just, more obscure stuff. You can just play records. So I don't think it's bad or good. I mean, it's the modern trend. There's been a lot of modern trends in the last, 5,000 years. And just because it's popular in your time doesn't mean you have to worship it as the greatest thing ever.
Okay. And talking about the future music, everybody's talking about the way AI will change everything from now on, including music. So as an artist, do you see it as a threat?
Well, I would say no. I think that it seems like a very advanced tool to me. So maybe it will push the limits of music to improve, because for me, pop and techno and all that stuff is so damn generic, and I've always been accepting and been like, oh, like all music's whatever, I don't care. But honestly, like, I listen to pop music and techno, and I feel like, I don't know if it's changed in like 40 years or 30 years. So I'm just like, I'm almost glad something can just imitate it easily. I just think like in the art, in the design, like it doesn't make things necessarily that are as good as the best art, but it generates all these crazy designs that you'd never think of. So I feel like it might push the limits and boundaries.
Okay.
I think it'll do what all technology does. It'll make a lot more people able to kind of do it at a convincing level, and kind of a lot of like shittier stuff will be like, probably people will need to work less hard to kind of achieve a certain thing. But that's always been the case. I feel like sculptors and building makers were such experts probably like 300 years ago, and now it's like so much less because of all the technology. So I think it's the same version of that. It's just a pretty big step that I think people will use, and hopefully if people still master their craft, and then they use that on top of it, it'll just be like, the sky's the limit.
Okay. And we can say you've had a lot of eras, I guess. You changed indie rock forever in the first 2000s. Then there's been the brief solo era, the Voidz, the now 2 featurings with Daft Punk and the New Abnormal. So looking back, is there anything you'd change?
I mean, again, you don't want to mess with the space-time continuum, as seen in many movies.
That's a good answer.
I'll change one thing, and it'll be like, oh, Hitler won the war. Thanks, Julian. You really wanted to like finish that milkshake in 1992. Yeah, I mean, there's obviously things theoretically that in the moment I wish I could do differently. There's so many, obviously. But I think if I actually had the magic wand in my hand, I probably wouldn't do it, because I'm okay at the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would say no.
Okay.
Because also I just think I've kind of maybe gotten to the point where I've always been on this kind of quest for like trying to do something that was like popular and catchy, but
Okay.
also like pretty like cutting edge and pushing the boundaries of things. So I'm still kind of trying to find that sweet spot. I haven't really found it, because even with the Strokes, it was cool and popular, but it was still a little bit on the mainstream side for like what my long-term dreams were, you know?
Okay. And
So still, you know.
talking about the future, now we've heard Prophecy of the Dragon, and so can we officially talk about a Void's third album, and what should we expect from it?
Well, I think, you know, I think most artists, they take a lot of they're all an amalgamation of things that they've absorbed through their lives and things that they've practiced. And I think with the Voidz, it's stylistically so kind of wildly goes from different countries and eras, like pretty in a kind of like early YouTube, like how I expected music to be, because it was like, oh, this whole world opened up, and I thought music was going to become this crazy landscape, but instead it got kind of co-opted and more like laser focused top 10 generating, like, you know.
Okay.
Oh, you don't want me to finish?
No, that's good. And
You sound like you're in a hurry.
no, don't worry. No, I'm fine. And
Got like some food
I know. Well,
cookies.
I was pretty like concerned that maybe you were in a hurry, but I'm completely fine.
I'm not in a hurry, no.
Okay, perfect.
But anyway, what I was going to say is a lot of different styles, but it's just hopefully, you know, honed in and sounding more like one cohesive thing now. But no album plan, just releasing singles, and then maybe at the end we put them all together or something. But we have like a lot of songs
Okay.
kind of in the works and done, but I think we're just going to do singles now.
Okay. And talking about the Strokes, Rick Rubin said you have been recording in Costa Rica. So are you currently working on new tracks with them too?
We were for a little while, just starting ideas and stuff at Mel Gibson's house
Okay.
in Costa Rica. I slept in Mel Gibson's bed, sniffing his sheets. Just kidding. I don't think he lives there anymore. Anyway, yeah, no, it was pretty surreal. It was pretty cool, but it was just kind of like, you know, getting ideas going. That hasn't really been like worked on for a while, or there's no kind of, we haven't figured out how to actually do the record yet, so that's not quite happening yet.
Okay. And through this 20 years career, has the way you write music changed?
Well, the plan from the beginning was for it to change exactly how it has. I think at the beginning I kind of wrote all the parts of everything, but my dream was to work with people who, you know, were like the best at what they did, and so I wouldn't need to think of, you know, bass lines and drum beats, because like I could just focus on singing and words and melodies and like little minor harmony things here and there, or if I heard ideas I could do it, but we'd each have our area of expertise, and so I think now that's kind of happened, so at least with the Voidz for me. So I feel like I can just, you know, I can take other people's things and write melodies on top of it, and it helps me kind of expand a little more. I still write songs the same old way also, which, you know, can vary, but so I would say it's half the old way and half the way that I intended to evolve. It just took the Voidz to do it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we're done. Thank you very much. It was so cool talking to you, and
Okay.
can't wait for the concert. I'll be there tomorrow, so
Awesome.
it will be cool.